everyone. Today we're going to be doing Step Up to 5th Grade Lesson 4, which is 17-4, estimating the product of a decimal and a whole number. So I'm going to get out of the way. Alright, so let's look at our objective. So first we need to kind of figure out and unpack some of these harder words. I'll be able to estimate, which means, like rounding, the product. So what does the product mean? Well, if you said the answer to a multiplication question, you would be right. So we're going to write answer to multiplication. So the answer to multiplication question. So now I know what operation I'm going to be using. I'm going to be multiplying. And look at here, we're multiplying. This is new territory for us. This is why it's 5th grade stuff. Decimals and a whole number. So before we even look at our solve and share, I just want to do like a basic multiplication question using a decimal and a whole number. All right, so it's really just like regular multiplication except just one difference. I'm going to start with some really kind of easy numbers. So let's do 12 times 1.5. Now, in multiplication, when it comes to the decimals, we don't need to line up our columns. We just need to line up the numbers. So we're going to multiply regular way. So first it's 5 times 2, which is 10. Maybe Julia could yell out some answers over here so I feel like I have an audience. 5 times 2. 10. There we go. Nervous. We're going to put our 0. No, don't worry, it won't be too hard. Put our 0 down and put our 1 up. 5 times 1? 5. Plus 1? 6. There we go. See, she's so good. 6. What can I say? Now, remember, we're going to do our magic 0 here. Magic 0. And we're going to erase our little 1 up there. So this is still regular, just like regular multiplication. 1 times 2? 2. I don't think she's loud enough. 1 times 2. There we go. And 1 times 1, Julia? 1. There we go. All right, now we're going to add. Still like our regular multiplication. We haven't even paid any attention to that decimal quite yet. So we're going to do 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 2 is 8. And nothing plus 1 is 1. All right, now is the time we have to figure out what to do about that decimal. So here it is. When we multiply using a decimal, and at the end of it, now we have to figure out how many place values were there. How many numbers were to the right of the decimal were there? And in this case, only one number, right? Because this is where the decimal point would be here. So that has no numbers there. So one number. So we go down to our answer, and this is where the decimal would be assumed, and we're going to move it over one number. So our answer is 18. 18.0. So whenever we multiply something, we're going to count how many places to the right. I'm going to do another one just so it's a little less confusing and maybe a little less ones. So how about we do 23 times 1 point, we'll do 6 this time. All right, Julie, the number's getting a little bit harder.
Oh God.
Hopefully she can do it. 6 times 3.
18.
There we go. 18. Put the 8 down, put the 1 up. 6 times 2.
12.
Plus 1?
13.
13. All right, now we're going to do our magic 0, right? So we're going to erase this one on top, put our magic 0, and continue multiplying. 1 times 3.
3.
And 1 times 2.
2.
2. And we're done, so we're going to add. And up until this point, remember, it's a regular multiplication problem. We're not even paying any attention to that decimal. Now we're going to add. 8 plus 0, Jules.
8.
3 plus 3.
6.
I hope you can hear her. 1 plus
6.
1 plus 2.
3.
3. All right. So this is where we're going to start paying attention to our decimal point. And if you look, we have one number to the right of the decimal. So we're going to move our decimal. We're going to put one number to the right of the decimal here. So the answer would be 36.8. All right, so that's a little background information on multiplying decimals and whole numbers. And I wanted to do that because our decimal here is 1.25, and that's a little bit harder. So I wanted to do it kind of first here. All right, so let's get to our solve and share. Renee needs 32 strands of twine for an art project. Each strand needs to be 1.25 centimeters. About how much twine does she need for the project? So we already know we're figuring out the product. We already know we're multiplying. So let's forget about the word about for a moment. So let's get our multiplication question, which would be 32 times 1.25. Now, we're back to the word about. That means we're estimating. So which of these numbers do we think would make sense to estimate? Let me move this over a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see. Would we estimate our 30? Because it's 32 strands of twine and every twine needs to be 1.25. Or would we estimate our 1.25? If you said 32, that would be correct. So we're going to change our 32 to 30. And we're going to leave our 1.25. Now, what do we know about multiplying a number that has a 0 in it? We could really just ignore the 0 for a little bit, right? And multiply 1.25 times 3, and at the end, add our 0 back in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 1.25 times 3. So 3 times 5 is?
15.
15. That's right, Julia. She's doing so good tonight. 3 times 2?
6.
Plus 1?
7.
Good job. And then 3 times 1?
3.
Good job. So we're really not done yet. Well, we're not done yet. So we have our 1.25 times 3. So now we have 2 places to the right of the decimal. So we're going to, okay, sorry about that. So we're going to add our 0 back into our answer, right? And then we're going to take our decimal, and we have 2 numbers to the right of the decimal. So we're going to move, we want our decimal to have 2 numbers in our answer. 2 numbers to the right of the decimal in our answer. See, 2 numbers to the right in our question, 2 numbers to the right in our answer. Which that doesn't look like it's very clear to see. My marker is fading out on me. Good thing school's almost over because all my markers are fading out. So 37.50 would be our answer. Alrighty. That's our solve and share. I only had to do 1 lesson on this because it's just like the step up to 5th grade, and then you're going to do your practicing of your multiplication. Alrighty, everyone. So it's 37.50 centimeters of twine. So that would be it. So we'll do centimeters here. Alrighty, so that was estimating the product of a decimal and a whole number. I will see you later. Bye.